governance. So Randy, if you want to add to that, and then I'll talk about tomorrow.
Thank you, Barbara. I've jotted some notes, and I guess great minds think alike. A lot of overlap with what you said, but I want to highlight some things in a little more detail. So yes, this, I might even enlarge this a bit. Make this larger there. This is squirrely cursor. Thank you. So this idea of the transformative time, this is something that really resonated with me. I've done a lot of thinking about the phases of environmental governance in the U.S. and thinking about where we are in this moment in 2022. It's potentially the precipice of the next era of environmental governance in our country, and there are a lot of signal points as to why that might be true. And certainly Roger spoke to some of these, and John Cruden as well. So the West Virginia case could have quite significant implications for where all of the discussion today might go in the near future. This idea of the major questions doctrine, the idea of potentially redefining the role of Congress, the role of agencies, and how environmental governance works, potentially for worse or for better. We don't know, but certainly that decision has opened a door that might take us in a path that we haven't been down for the past 50 years in terms of how environmental governance has worked at the federal level. And then certainly the Inflation Reduction Act, two major landmark developments in federal environmental law in the same year. And the reference to all carrots and no sticks, I think that's really important to reflect on as well in terms of what it means for a lot of the issues we discussed today. That might not be a bad thing, but it's certainly a new thing. And I labeled that as not, if you're in your 20s or 30s, the IRA is not your parents' environmental law by any means. So it's classically not in the command and control paradigm, very much incentivizing getting us to a good result instead of commanding it and enforcing it. And then also this theme of intersectional collaboration is really essential for addressing the intersectional problems we heard about today. And climate change and PFAS are really two of those challenges that have a lot of the same qualities. So I've labeled them as ubiquitous, insidious, and intersectional. So ubiquitous is quite obvious that you can't really have any discussion about environmental governance these days without running into climate change, and we saw that today. And PFAS is similarly ubiquitous. We know from the science and how difficult it is to address. And